So we're trapped in here. Unless we can break the door down.
Hello? The windows. Fucking dumb.
All of the windows are made of bulletproof glass and are sealed shut.
What the hell? Why?
It's a security measure. It's to make sure no one comes in to steal anything or tries to sneak my valuables out of the window from the inside.
A smuggler would have a lot of things to hide in her own place, so it makes sense.
Aren't there other exits? There has to be at least one. Answer me, Dove.
Let's just split up and try to find a way out, okay?
We are not splitting up.
What? Why not?
Someone in here is a goddamn murderer armed with a gun. If we split up, they'll get a new target all alone.
He's right. It's better if we all stay together. That way, if any of us is the murderer, then the rest of us can overpower them.
Rationalizing while a murderer is on the loose. This is going to end well.
So, what? Are we just gonna walk through the house and find another way out?
There is another way out. Through the kitchen.
And now she tells us. Terrific.
Shut it, Swan. It's a way out.
Then let's go.
You've got to be shitting me.
This door won't open either? Are there any other doors that will open?
This is ridiculous! First the front door, now this one!
Are there any other doors?
Those are the only doors I know of.
I think it's safe to assume that any and all of the doors in this house are barred and locked in.
Well, what do we do then? Are we just going to sit around and wait for the lights to go out again and get killed one by one?
Do you have any better ideas?
I do. It's Dove's house, so.
I didn't lock us in here!
Who else could have done this, Dove? None of us have any access to this house and its entrances. You must have found some way to—
That's it! I've had it!
What?
We're all gonna go to the drawing room.
Bluejay.
What? I am not.
Wait a minute. This is my—
I said we're all going to the drawing room. Let's go.
Now hold on. Who the fuck put you in charge?
Let's just go for now. We'll figure everything out once we get back into the drawing room. Bluejay may be onto something.
But, Marianne.
Dove, let's not argue. We're all flustered enough as it is. It's the best idea we have for now, and we can respectfully cover her. So, come on.
All right, we're here. Now what?
Right now, we're all suspects to this case. We were all in this room when the murder happened, so only one of us could have done it.
Now you're sounding like a cop.
I used to be a cop before I started working for my boss, so I know exactly what cops will look for in a murder case.
You are a cop!
Raven, I swear to God!
Ex-cop.
How the fuck do we know if he's telling the truth? Used to be a cop, my ass. He probably is one!
Look, I don't give a fuck what you think about me, Raven. I'm also stuck in here with the rest of you. If I was a cop, I would have phoned for backup already to come break me out. Did you think about that?
It would take about 15 minutes for any police car to locate you, and another 10 just to get here.
Exactly. It's already been about 5 minutes. In about 20 minutes, you'll see if you're right.
Bluejay's got balls.
But he's right. We're wasting time talking about cops when we should figure out which one of us is a killer.
How do we figure that out?
We make the murderer confess.
How?
Interrogation. The most effective way to put someone under pressure and make them snap a confession in order to end it. It's also a cop's preferred method of getting answers. Under pressure.
Mm-hmm. And we'll start with Crow.
Huh? Why me?
You've known Chickadee the longest, and you've also confirmed that she used to work for you and your brothel. You've kept track of her, and even knew that she would frisk your weapons. Would you have any reason to kill her?
Of course not.
Even if your company's secrets are on the line.
She was an underling, like you. She barely knew anything about my company except how to serve and please women.
She was a consort for female clients?
All of my underlings can choose who to sell themselves to. We're not limited to heterosexual relationships. That would limit our clientele. You would be surprised how many business wives need a female's touch behind their husbands' backs.
What about you? Do you only serve girls?
No. While I freely flirt and tease, I screw men. Well, they screw me, technically. However, I haven't gotten much diverse work since my latest client frequently reserves me for security reasons. Not that I mind, of course, as long as he can pay me every time.
Raven, I assume?
What? How did—
Dude, don't even play. It's kind of obvious.
Yes. Raven is paranoid and believes that I will sell the information he drunkenly blurts out whenever we're together. so he pretty much takes up my time and ensures my silence with money.
Can we get back to the issue, please?
I apologize, Bluejay. However, Marion was my best female consort. I would never dream of hurting her, much less kill her.
That's the key, however. She was your best. She left your company to work for Dove, so she was no longer bringing her best work to your business.
And you believe that because I tracked them and knew of this place before I came here, I had the method and plan to murder her.
Who wouldn't?
Fair enough. But allow me to be a forensics expert. The bullet landed between her eyes. I was standing by the desk with the diamonds, behind her. I couldn't have done it without someone hearing me rush over, pulling a gun out of whatever, aiming in the dark, and firing.
And she'd have spent more time trying to hide a quickly fired gun and returning to her place without anyone noticing she moved in the dark.
So what does that mean?
That means everyone who wasn't around the diamonds is a suspect.
The only person I remember not being interested in the diamonds was...
I dare you to say me.
But she's right to assume, Raven.
I didn't shoot anyone.
Says the one who would jump down anyone's throat claiming that they're a cop.
I have my reasons!
Of course, you wouldn't want a cop to know that you were planning the murder of an innocent maid.
You would say that shit to my face? You have no idea who the fuck you're dealing with.
I know exactly who I'm dealing with. Crow made that very clear. I'm dealing with a con man who thinks his fists will silence any threat his way. How does it feel to be the helpless one here?
Holy shit, the cops got skill.
Oh dear!
Are you done?
Get off of me!
You've already proved your point, Raven. You're not the killer. I believe you. Now calm the fuck down.
What? He already proved that...
He didn't pull out a gun when he was at his highest peak of rage. No. A real murderer would have pulled out a gun and shot, silencing their interrogator, regardless of their audience.
But now we're at a dead end. There's no one else.
Actually, there are 5 suspects left.
What?
If Raven isn't the killer, then the theory that the culprit wasn't by the diamonds when it happened is off the table.
You can't be serious.
Unfortunately, it makes sense. If we were the only ones in the room, then it had to have been one of us, regardless of the circumstances.
That means I'm back to being a suspect. Perfect.
Welcome to the club.
Now, Robin.
Of course you'd question me next. Go ahead. I'm ready to answer anything you may have.
That's the thing. I can't question you because you'd pass all of them with flying colors. You're an informant and a sociopath, so you know how to make us believe you.
A deadly combination, don't you agree?
That's not ominous at all.
Oh, fuck no! The sociopath did it!
No, you imbecile, it's an expression of how I can pass any interrogation thrown at me with precise ease, regardless of whether I did it or not.
Exactly. Which is why I think you didn't do it.
Oh? Enlighten me to why.
A sociopath like you wouldn't panic so easily if you really killed someone. Acting human is one thing. Actually experiencing and expressing panic after a murder is another.
Well, color me impressed. Oh, I'm curious as to why you quit the police force with a brain like yours.
I'll tell you about it after we figure out who the murderer is.
Consider it a date then.
We're going in circles. How are we supposed to figure anything out?
We're doing the best we can, okay, Dove?
This is getting on my nerves. How the hell are we supposed to figure out which of us is the murderer when everyone somehow has an excuse not to be?
Well, it's not like the killer is just gonna say, yo, it was me, after answering some questions.
You'd be surprised what you can get out of someone with a few simple words.
Like what? Hit me with whatever you got. I know I'm also a suspect.
Did you sell drugs here?
No.
You're not the killer.
How do you know that?
He's a drug dealer. If he wanted to kill anyone, he'd kill Dove for the diamonds. But he'd have us to deal with. He wouldn't aim for Chickadee.
That's some fucked up logic, but it's true.
Sometimes analyzing gang behavior can reap factual benefits and win over conversations and discussions.
Speak English, ex-cop.
My point. Now, Swan.
Oh no, you are not interrogating me without a lawyer present. I refuse to partake in this nonsense.
So, you admit to the crime.
How dare you assume such a thing?
It's policeman mentality, Swan. If you plead the fifth and hide behind an attorney, then you're pleading guilty.
What else are we supposed to expect?
That I'm not guilty.
But how do we know that? If you're not guilty, then why be defensive?
Because only low-life scum actually resort to murder, especially with a gun. I am above that, and I refuse to be assumed as such. Besides, why would I kill the help? There's no motive.
Because you didn't.
What makes you so sure?
Swan grabbed onto me when the gunshot went off. I'm her alibi and she is mine.
And you didn't say anything before because?
Because I assumed forensics would remove suspicion from us without going into further details that we can't prove. Remember, Marion was shot in the head by someone in front of her. The majority of us were by the desk looking at Dove's diamonds.
The only one who was by the door was Raven.
Wait a minute, Bluejay. Weren't you the one who got the lights after the gunshot went off?
That's right.
Bluejay?